Good morning. Welcome to the 8th and 9th joint convocation of the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Thiruvananthapuram. Due to the current pandemic situation and restrictions on physical gatherings, the convocations are being held together in a virtual mode. The graduating students, dignitaries, Senate members and the entire institute fraternity will be joining this event online.
Ladies and gentlemen, the convocation ceremony is about to commence. The academic procession will now enter the hall. the student choir for the invocation.
Shanti Shanti Om Asadoma Satirgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Shanti Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Tat Sat Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Tat Sat.
Welcome to the 8th and 9th Convocation of the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Thiruvananthapuram. I request Professor Arvind A. Nathu, Chairperson, Board of Governors, to declare the convocation open.
I declare 8th and 9th convocation of Iisertvm open.
I request the Director to present the Institute's annual report.
Research, Thiruvananthapuram. And on behalf of the Board of Governors of the Institute, I extend a warm welcome to our Chief Guest, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Chief Scientist, World Health Organization, and a member of the WHO Headquarters Leadership Team. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Professor Arvind A. Nathu, Chairperson, Board of Governors, members of the Finance Committee, the Building and Works Committee, the Senate, distinguished invitees, faculty colleagues, administrative staff, students, proud family members of the graduating students, and members of the media to this 8th and 9th joint convocation of Iisertvm being conducted in a virtual mode. The years 2020 and 2021 will remain unforgettable for a long time. The specter of coronavirus has disrupted normal life, destroyed livelihood for countless, and ravaged the lives of millions. There is an all-out effort by all and sundry to bring some semblance of normalcy in these trying times. This virtual joint convocation of our 8th and 9th batch of students is a step in that direction. We would have preferred to have this celebratory event offline on campus and honor our students for their accomplishments and academic excellence. Hopefully, that time is not far off. Notwithstanding the fact that the pandemic has derailed our regular functioning considerably, we have made palpable progress with academic and development works on campus. Over the past 2 years, our beautiful campus has seen addition of an excellent guest house in the name of Visitors Forest Retreat, 3 residential blocks, a student activities center, a student lounge, and several ancillary structures. A new lecture theater complex is being readied as an addition to the list of completed buildings soon. The Institute has also set in motion the process of exit from the project mode so that regular funds from the government can become available to the Institute to allow for the next phase of developments. The rugged surroundings left behind from campus-wide constructions have been transformed into manicured lawns and gardens in bloom, offering an exquisite feel to the students who have returned to the campus after a long hiatus due to the pandemic. In response to the challenges of the times, a state-of-the-art COVID testing facility has been set up in our health center, which is being managed through the tireless efforts of a committed group of people. In addition to helping the local region by testing thousands of samples regularly, we have been able to ensure that the virus does not upend the academic activities of the Institute. I wish to say that despite the upheavals, Iisertvm has been making impressive advances in all areas of research in pure and applied sciences. The faculty members have been in the forefront and are actively engaged in research in pursuit of discoveries in several niche areas of science. These include cancer research, emerging viral pathogens, genome stability, patterns and processes of diversification in nature, plant-pollinator interactions, mutations, chronobiology, neurodegeneration, photochemistry, drug-free cancer therapy, photoreacts catalysis, supramolecular chemistry, synthesis of new materials and applications, energy storage, modeling of nanostructures and excited state reactions, bioimaging, crystal engineering, interdisciplinary research in data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, numerical analysis, and scientific computing, stochastic partial differential equations, applicable mathematics and geometry, topology, superconductivity, magnetism, materials for smart device applications, quantum Hall effect, bandgap materials, photovoltaics, thermoelectrics, semiconductors, solar cells, and LEDs, energy storage devices, nonlinear optics, plasmonics, and biomedical engineering, imaging technology, quantum devices, quantum theory, fluid mechanics, and nonlinear dynamics, non-equilibrium physics, cosmology, particle physics, string theory, gravitational waves, and so on and so forth. All of them are being practiced here. We currently have 11 professors, 21 associate professors, 41 professors as regular faculty of Iisertvm. We are proud to have distinguished scientists as visiting professors, adjunct faculty, and professors with emeritus status amongst us to guide our students in frontier and evolving areas of research. Of noteworthy is the fact that our faculty are recipients of prestigious national and international awards, which include the Mercator Fellowship, Humboldt Fellowship, A.V. Ramarao Foundation Prize, the Silver and Bronze Chemical Research Society of India medals, Professor C.N.R. Rao Prize, National Award in Technology Innovation, Fellowship of the Indian Academy of Sciences, S. Ramachandran National Bioscience Award, Shastra C.N.R. Rao Award, Bhagyatara Award, J.C. Bose National Fellowship, Intermediate Career Fellowship, Kerala State Young Scientist Award, amongst others. I'm proud that our faculty are on editorial boards of several leading scientific journals and publications. Their research work is showcased as cover page articles in journals of international repute and covered by international media. Some of our faculty are executive committee or board members of important scientific bodies, while some others are visiting professors in foreign universities and may have productive collaborations with reputed national and international research institutes in emerging areas of scientific research as well as socially relevant projects. The restrictions imposed on travel have undoubtedly affected one-to-one interactions with experts and collaborators, but we have not allowed this to dampen our spirits or slacken our research progress. Right through the pandemic, we have remained connected with our students and collaborators. We have adapted quickly to the challenges of times. By adopting smart technology and tools, we have been successful in filling the void created by the pandemic to a large measure. By switching over to online discourse within a short period of time, Iisertvm has created four state-of-the-art studios for recording of lectures by the faculty and ensured that the students were constantly engaged through high-quality video recorded teaching material and online interactive sessions regularly. Our faculty have organized several online talks, webinars, training programs, symposia, and workshops with the leading scientists and research institutions, both within our country and far away from our borders. Amongst various others, it must be mentioned that Iisertvm was chosen as one of the champion institutes for Vaishvik Bharatiya Vaigyanik Vaibhav Summit, as is popularly known, a global summit of NRI scientists undertaken by the Government of India in 2020. It championed deliberations on two important verticals, namely advanced and functional materials and catalytic materials and processes, with accomplished NRI scientists spread across the globe over a period of 4 days. With a gradual decline in the number of COVID cases in the country, the institute began the process of bringing students back into the campus. As of today, we have around 900 out of 1,400 students on campus. I am proud to say that Iisertvm is one of the very few institutions in the country that have conducted offline exams and laboratory experiments for all 2020 and prior batches of students. The institute has braved against all odds, bringing batches of students from time to time to provide hands-on experience with laboratory experiments while dispensing with virtual laboratory mode. Just prior to the onset of the pandemic that changed our lives with a new normal, Iisertvm was able to host the Inter-Iser Cultural Meet, IICM 2019 on campus. I'm happy to report that the meet was an exemplary one in all respects and won praise from all quarters in terms of the organization as well as the quality of events. Unfortunately, other extracurricular events like the Inter-Iser Sports Meet, the annual sports fest of the Institute itself, the cultural festival of the Institute Asia, IICM 2020, student activities of the Science and Technology Council, CMIT, outreach programs, etc., which are an important aspect of social life in the campus and much awaited by students, faculty, and staff alike, could not be hosted in 2020. Otherwise, I'm certain that better times will follow soon. And life on the campus will be rejuvenated. We are taking all measures to make our campus a lovely haven and a vibrant knowledge hub. Insofar as the research activities are concerned, I must say that we have run the laboratories with 300 plus research scholars on the campus at any given time. Should the quantum of funding secured for research be a measure of success, I wish to say with pride that Iisertvm stands tall. In the last 2 years, 2019 and 2020 and 2021, we have operated 132 research projects with an outlay of 96.3 crores. We have 11 high-valued projects, 5 in the School of Biology worth 9.85 crores, 5 in the School of Physics worth 20.5 crores, and 1 in the School of Chemistry worth 1.1 crore. 7 of these high-value projects are funded by DST, 3 under the Inspire Faculty Fellowship, 2 each by the FIST and ICPS, 1 by SCRB, and the remaining 3 by DBT. Additionally, our faculty also receive grants through MOE, formerly MHRD, DAE, UGC, UCARI, ISRO, KSC, STE, ICAR, NASF, etc. Some of our socially relevant projects include potato crop improvement, biomedical research to develop handheld, low-cost device for real-time intraoperative scanning applications, noble metal-free advanced catalyst for hydrogen generation and fuel cell applications, design of a surface-enhanced spectroscopy-based device for rapid detection of organophosphate pesticides and pyrethroid insecticides in fruits and vegetables, biodiversity and pollination, research on honeybees, stem cell biology, especially dealing with aging, cancers and neurodegenerative diseases, and virology research on COVID and corona viruses. Iisertvm has a total of 15 patents that are in different stages of processing. Out of this, 2 patents have been granted to Iisertvm faculty members. One is on organogelator cellulose composite for practical and eco-friendly marine oil spill recovery, and the other is a method for the synthesis of layered luminescent transition metal dichalcogenide quantum dots. In the last 2 years, we have entered into collaboration and signed MOUs with the Nara Institute of Science and Technology, Japan, the University of Newcastle, Australia, and the Temple University, Philadelphia, USA, to develop and pursue collaborative research efforts with these overseas research partners. The Institute has been making progress in terms of teaching portfolio as well. A thorough revision and update of the syllabi of the flagship BSMS programs were undertaken in 2020, and the revisions have come into effect from the academic year 2020-21 onward. Iisertvm also conceived and launched, in keeping with paradigm changes in higher education and to prepare young minds to the challenges of tomorrow in a proactive manner, 5 new imaginative and topical undergraduate programs named I2 Sciences, where I2 stands for integrated and interdisciplinary. The I2 Biological Sciences, I2 Chemical Sciences, I-Square Mathematical Sciences, I-Square Physical Sciences programs build upon the strengths of the institute in basic sciences and aim to impart training to the students with a distinct emphasis on applied aspects of modern science, cutting across the traditional borders between various subjects. I-Square Data Science program is a new addition that integrates the fast expanding field of data science with the methods and techniques of the basic sciences. I'm enthused to disclose the academic expansion plans of Iisertvm for 2021 and 2022. The institute will soon be launching 2-year MSc programs in all subjects of science, biology, chemistry, and physics and mathematics. The programs on the anvil are meant to provide a modern and immersive research-integrated education to the bachelor's degree graduates with a resolute commitment to pursue careers in science. These programs are also envisaged to produce a rich pool of competent and skilled graduates necessary for research, that is PhD, in complex, arduous, and challenging scientific problems of contemporary interest. Of course, Iisertvm is endeavoring to expand its gamut of programs and position itself as one of the sought-after institutions in the country for top quality higher education and research. The progress the institute is making steadily is evidenced by the fact that Iisertvm has sprung up into the top 100 institutions with NIRF ranking of 80 in the year 2020. In the latest Nature Index rankings declared for the top 100 Indian institutions based on the data for the period from January to December 2020, released only a few days ago, Iisertvm is ranked impressively at 14. Suffice it to say that plans are firmly afoot, in fact, to nudge the institution into a trajectory of higher growth and visibility. Let me now return to the main focus of the event today, namely the graduation. It's indeed unfortunate that the students of batch 15 had to leave the campus abruptly in March 2020, with barely 6 or 8 weeks remaining in their last semester at the institute. All the waypoints that usually mark the leaving of a batch of students, like Alvida 2020, and even the 8th convocation of the institute, had to be put on hold and postponed. The students who had regarded the institute as their home for the last 5 years had to leave without even a friendly pat on their backs. I hope that having the 8th convocation, though in a virtual mode today, will bring at least a small measure of closure to the innings of the batch 15 students at Iisertvm. On the other hand, the students of batch 2 2016 were able to come back to the campus at the end of 2020, and they leave only after completing the research work for their final year projects. This batch of students was in fact the first to enter the Vithura campus in August 2016, and they have seen it transform from a raw form with only a few completed buildings to the present state in which only a few buildings remain to be completed. I'm indeed glad that they all have had a productive and fulfilling stay at Iisertvm. If I may summarize, 130 BSMS students, 16 PhD students, 4 integrated PhD students who completed their studies last academic year are graduating today as part of the 8th convocation of the institute. As part of the 9th convocation, 162 BSMS students, 23 PhD students, and the 3 integrated PhD students are graduating in the current academic year after completing their studies. My dear students, let me quote what Helen Keller said. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. What a quote it is. I'm sure the pandemic has strengthened your resolve to be competent, inspired you to be ambitious, and prepared you to be determined to pursue your goals. The present pandemic is only a hitch in your long journey. I want to tell you to stay focused and pursue your dreams with unfettered determination. Remember what APJ Abdul Kalam said. Dream is not that which you see while sleeping, but it is something that does not let you sleep. You have been recipients of excellent education and training in science. You have imbibed the necessary ingredients to think creatively and solve problems in imaginative ways. I'm confident that you will all be able to thrive and make headways in our chosen paths in the years to come. The best wishes of the entire Iiser fraternity are with you. I wish you all much success, of all with more fun and happiness. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, 39 students who have completed the requirements of the doctoral program have been recommended for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy by the Senate. I pray that they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chairman Senate, I admit you all to the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Tirunanthapuram.
I present Mayakar Harshad Vijay, PhD in Biological Sciences. Kavya D, PhD in Biological Sciences. Vivek Philip Syriac, PhD in Biological Sciences. Selva Kumar B, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Hema K, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Joba A. Johnson, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Nityanandan K, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Prabhu M, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Sumanta Banerjee, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Ramkumar K, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Tania Biswas, PhD in Mathematical Sciences. Mer Vatsakumar Nandakishore, PhD in Mathematical Sciences. Atmaram Tiwari, PhD in Mathematical Sciences. Arjun U, PhD in Physical Sciences. Reshma Ravindran, PhD in Physical Sciences. Subramanya Hegde, PhD in Physical Sciences. Ishwar Reddy Maddi, PhD in Biological Sciences. Srija V. Nair, PhD in Biological Sciences. M.N. Ramesh Bondana, PhD in Biological Sciences. Srisha R. Sudagar, PhD in Biological Sciences. Binshad B, PhD in Biological Sciences. Ajit V.P., PhD in Biological Sciences. Thanya Radhakrishnan, PhD in Biological Sciences. Anjana P.K., PhD in Chemical Sciences. Hemna Fatima, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Siriki Achim Naidu, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Asha P, joined PhD with University of Parma in Chemical Sciences. Neetu Anand, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Raju, PhD in Chemical Sciences. Manju P, PhD in Physical Sciences. Ashby Philip John, PhD in Physical Sciences. Saumitra Hazara, PhD in Physical Sciences. Krishnanand Prajapati, PhD in Physical Sciences. Lakshmi KP, PhD in Physical Sciences. Neeraj Kumar Rajak, PhD in Physical Sciences. Prahlad Kanti Barman, PhD in Physical Sciences. Varun Srivastava, PhD in Physical Sciences. Ranjit P, PhD in Physical Sciences. Prashanta Kumar Mukherjee, PhD in Physical Sciences. Sir, 7 students who have completed the requirements of the integrated PhD program have been recommended for the award of the dual degree of Master of Science and Doctor of Philosophy by the Senate. I pray that they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chairman Senate, I admit you all to the award of the dual degree of Master of Science and Doctor of Philosophy of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Tirunanthapuram.
I present Gopal M, MS and PhD in Biological Sciences. Akash Ashirvad Panda, MS and PhD in Mathematical Sciences. Ammu Elizabeth Anthony, MS and PhD in Mathematical Sciences. Soham Bhattacharya, MS and PhD in Physical Sciences. Vignesh A, MS and PhD in Chemical Sciences. Awais CH, MS and PhD in Chemical Sciences. Saurav Samantare, MS and PhD in Mathematical Sciences. Sir, 130 students of BSMS dual degree program have completed the prescribed course of study during the academic year 2019-20 and are declared eligible for the award of the dual degree of Bachelor of Science and Master of Science by the Senate. I pray that they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chairman Senate, I admit you all to the award of the dual degree of Bachelor of Science and Master of Science of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Tirunanthapuram.
Sir, 162 students of BSMS dual degree program have completed the prescribed course of study during the academic year 2020-21 and are declared eligible for the award of the dual degree of Bachelor of Science and Master of Science by the Senate. I pray that they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chairman Senate, I admit you all to the award of the dual degree of Bachelor of Science and Master of Science of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Tirunanthapuram.
Sir, 75 students from School of Biology are eligible for BSMS dual degree, and I invite Dr. Nishant KT, Head, School of Biology, to announce the names of the students.
I present A.K. Avinash, Abdul Basit, Amanda Ben, Anish Ruban, Anjali PJ, Anne Mary Isaac, Arati Preet Babu, Arya Krishnan, Ashwati Prithviraj, Asif Muhammad A.N., Dheeraj K.P., Divya R., Hari Krishnan J., J. Harita, Joel Johnson, Krishnapriya Anirudhan, Muhammad Afsal B., Nayana J.M., Omkar Eknath Pawar, Rakshana B. Krishnan, Shastri Avanti Milind, Siddhartha Yadanapudi, Sneha Santosh, Soumya B., Soumya S. Geeta, Srirag S. Raghu, Srirag S, Sripriya MS, Suvarna K, Tarunya Tankachan, Zayana Ali, Manas B. Sharma, Benjamin David, A.B. Navaneet, Hatekar Aishwarya Raju, Akanksha Bhatt, Kaslot Akshay Irappa, Akshay Mohan K, Alok Khujur, Amal Reggie, Amit CS, Anagha Prabhan, Anjana R, Anju Maria Jose, Ankit Kumar Pradhan, Anna Elizabeth George, Anusha D. Bhatt, Arvind M. Giri, Chaitra P, Arya M.V. Kumar, Atira T.M., Bijoy Manoj, Bharat Joshi, Deepthi Ann Thomas, Devi Krishna M, Devila Prit, Gayatri M. Karta, Kaganshu R. Khobragade, Manu Prasad K, Mudit Bhatia, Muhammad Naseem K, Neetu B, Neha Kachapillai, Pallavi P, Ravi Prakash Pankaj, Ritvik P. Nambiar, More Saurabh Bharat, H. Sharanya, Snehal Nevare, N. Sri Krishna, Sanke Sujan Kumar, Tabassum Sood, Yashas R, Maitri M. Moon, Pavitra M.
Sir, 35 students from the School of Chemistry who graduated in 2020 are eligible for BSMS degree. I invite Dr. Sugendu Mandal, Head, School of Chemistry, at the time of their graduation to announce the names of the students.
I present Adil Mohammad, ঐশ্বরিয়া এমপি, अर्जुन ई मुथु, अखिल देव, अमीना मोहम्मद, अनन्या यस, एन बी कुराईकोच, आशना भी, अश्वती सायम, एल्गिन कार्लोज, फाइना पिन्हेरो, गोविंद बेहरा, हृदया एन, जेम्सिया के, जेस्नी एनजे, जीतू कृष्णा, लक्ष्मी प्रिया ए, एमएस अहमद हुसैन मदानी, मीरा मोधू, मेघना शासी, मोहम्मद बिलाल ए, नंदिता महानदास, लिलिमा एम, प्रियंका पी राजन, रोहित बीएस, रूपेश एम, सनत राज के, शाहाना निजार एनएस, सोनिया अहमद, श्रीलक्ष्मी एम, सूर्यकांत तांती, विष्णु बी, शाव्या सुरेंद्रन, भविलाला भीरा बाला मणिकांता, रजत कुमार सिंह।
Sir, 50 students from School of Chemistry who graduated in 2021 are eligible for BSMS degree. And I invite Professor Mahesh Hariharan, Head, School of Chemistry, to announce the names of the students.
I present Abhay Kumar Arya, Anuroop EP, Ajay MK, Alfie Benny, Amalu S, Aman Rastogi, Amita Jayan, Anaga Shivadas P, Ankur, Ardra K, Arun Joshi, Atul SB, Balu P. Ratish, Charuta K, Deepu George, Divya PS, Girish M, Jonnala Gadda Gaudam Nirmal, Grishma Suresh, Jyotirmayi UG, Joel G. Raji, Kavyasri M, കീർത്തി വിജയൻ, കൃഷ്ണപ്രസാദ്, ഇ കൃഷ്ണ സുരേഷ്, കൃഷ്ണകാവ്യ ടി എം, കേസിയ സണ്ണി, മിനു എസ്, മിനു സജി, മിഥുൻ സി മധുസൂദനൻ, പി കിരൺ റെഡ്ഡി, പാർവതി അനൂപ് കുമാർ, പട്ടോജു സായി ദിലീപ്, ഫുലുങ് ബസുമതാരി, പൂവണൻ ആർ, പ്രണവ് കുമാർ, രാധിക കൃഷ്ണ എച്ച്, രേഷ്മ രമേശ്, രേഷ്മ സനൽ, സാന്ദ്ര മറിയ ജോർജ്, സാന്ദ്ര സന്തോഷ്, സെബാസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഫ്രാൻസിസ്, ശിൽപ പി രാജ്, ശ്രീലക്ഷ്മി വി, ശ്രേയ എൻ, സുമിത് കുമാർ, സ്വാതി വിജയൻ, ടീന ജേക്കബ്, വിവേക് ജി പിള്ള, രാജേശ്വരി എം സി.
Sir, 41 students from School of Mathematics are eligible for BSMS degree, and I invite Dr. Vijay Z. Thomas, Head, School of Mathematics, to announce the names of the students.
I present Ajay Kurian, Akash Kumar, Amruta B. Nair, Anjali T.C., G. Aswin, Govind S., Kirtana R., Mithun P.V., Mohammad Dilsha, Nafia V.K., Nimisha B., Chandana Diksha, Sanjeev Nanda, Srihari K., Shweta Ganesh, Tarini S., Vidya Babu, धर्माधिकारी गणेश जयंतराव, CH सरस्वती, M अखिलेश, ऋचा सिंह, अन्नपूर्वे अभिनंदन बबनराव, अक्षय कृष्णन टी, आनंद PC, प्रधान अन्वेष, अरोमल सजीव, आर्या गायत्री, टेमकर चेतन दत्तारे, हिता पियान, जितिन S, कलिन कृष्णा, काव्या KH, मीनाक्षी कृष्णन, माइकल थॉमस, नंदकिशोर K, कंड्रेगुला नवीन वर्धन, नीलेश सूर्यवंशी, S नुमाश राजन, रोहिन H, श्रीहरि S, अरिंदम बिस्वास,
Sir, 91 students from School of Physics are eligible for BSMS degree. I present AP Srihari, Abdul Subhan M, Adarsh Sudhakar, Aditya Dinesh, Aditya Jayagumar, Ajmal S, Akshay S, Alisha PA, Anakha AG, Anup K, Aparna M Das, Aparna Vasudevan K, Archa A Nair, Chandini Babu, Cyril S Prasad, Dhruv, Disha Brahma, Tumpala Tirumal Rao, Gayatri Chandrasekharan, Joel John Abraham, Jodis Chandran, Krishna Kumar, Muhammad Arshad TP, Mohsin Vannan Chalil, Muthuswamy R, Neha K, Prasida MS, R Naveen Kumar, Rakhav Chaturvedi, S Kalyani, Sadal Kuljit Singh Baldev Singh, Shahala Yasmin M, Sheena Shaji, Sharath S, Sri Lakshmi Pillai, Sulochana R, Shyam Prasad S, Vinu K. Vijaykumar, Vishnulal C, Amit Kumar, Arun Kumar, Karthike. Abhaya Sitaram Hegde, Abhishek S. Kumar, Abhishek Sahu, Adarsh Jojo Thomas, Aditya S, Aksha GP, Akshay Kannan Sairam, Albert Matthew, Ankit Raina, Anup A. Nair, Arpan Chatterjee, Ashik Lal, Ashish Ranjan, Avinash S. N. Shaji, G. Beturaj, Govindarajan P, Govind Krishna, Harikrishnan SV, Jishnu V, Keshav Singh, Mahadevaya Khalak Rajesh Kumar, Iyer Kishore Narayanan, Krishna Nivedita G, Krishnanand K. Nair, Lakshmi Priya Srilata Pramod, Litin MB, Maybe Johns, Midhun Krishna, Milia KM, Mukta Janpante, Naipunya Raj, Nithin RH, Nihal M, Nikhil US, Parvati Girishan, Renuka M, S. Jayakrishnan, Sabuj Mondal, Sai Chaitanya Susarla, Sanchit Srivastava, Shalini R, Sanjay Sunny, Sharath Jose, Satyam Sahu, Mehta Shrey Chandresh, Swarali Patil, T.N. Arjun Raj, Vaishak M, Vivek Cherian David.
I request the chairperson, Board of Governors, to sign the register of graduating students and deliver his address.
Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Senior Scientist, World Health Organization, Professor Murthy, Director of Iisertvm, and other dignitaries. And my dear young students in this wildy terrain and ecologically sensitive area. It is really a pleasure, and we are fortunate to have Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, who is really busy in her schedule in the World Health Organization. So I must be thankful to her. It also gives me pleasure to welcome you all on the occasion of this 8th and 9th convocation of the Institute. I don't have to elaborate to you on the two features of IISER to maintain the symbiotic relationship between the research and the research and the education, and practice it for societal need. The second is interdisciplinary research. You have already experienced the both. My dear young students, you may not be knowing what started with 10 students in 2008, you are now seeing the flourishing glory of nature, academics, sports facilities, and one of the best available in the country. It is really a dream come true for all the people who have worked very hard to bring this institution to this level. Institutions are never built, such as especially research and academic institutes are never built in a day and only by stones. There has to be good academics, and now I am very proud to say that Iisertvm has acquired a place now on the global research map, and I must congratulate the IISER authorities, academic leaders and administrators to bring it to this level. You are fortunate to have excellent training in research during these 5 years through various fellowships, which is now a very rare scene in this day. My dear friends, this will open a completely floodgate of opportunities for you when you are entering into the real world. We currently are going through a very different phase of pandemic at different levels: social, mental, healthcare, and in many other areas. And that is the reason why today we cannot interact with you in person, and this is happening in vitro. But my dear friends, there is a silver line to this black cloud also. What is that? This will really open various new research areas to the world. What are those new areas, or those areas again looked into this one are mainly due to the health, in the health sciences. We are looking back at either DNA, proteins, on biosimilars, which will have least toxicological effect and which will be more effective against newer microorganisms. Another thing I wanted to just check with you, I want to just tell you, the chemistry areas where repurposing of the drug will be really the key structure. As you know, drug discovery generally takes about 10 to 15 years, and we don't have that kind of time frame. Hence, the only solution remaining is the repurposing of the drugs. There are many successful examples in the history of right from aspirin to many other drugs. And my dear friends, why this will be successful? Because the many of the drugs or the drug candidates that are left at the last stage or last one stage have already proven the pharmacology and toxicology. So it is a completely new area. Several new commercial ventures are coming to this. Another, of course, is the new development, new technologies to bring in virus and to detect the antiviral compounds, vaccines, new mRNA based vaccines, not the conventional one. So all these things will really open a completely floodgate to you. So really pandemic has given you two things. One is new all topics of research, and second is to just show how important is the interdisciplinary areas right now. For example, Earlier, mathematics and biology are in symbiotic relation, never in symbiotic relationship. Nowadays, if you see that there are a plethora of publications, in fact, the predictions, the sayings, arrival of the third wave, fourth wave, and all other things is the effect of the excellent collaborations between mathematicians, statisticians, and computer people and the biology. I am not talking only about the epidemic statistics or epidemic. Even in the areas of predictions, these are now coming in a very big way. So, my dear students, you have really very good opportunities. Third area I must just mention, Professor Swaminathan, she is here, so she will be able to elaborate more perhaps on that, is that will provide us the new real insights into the mechanism, kinetics of various factors inside the virus or other microbes, and that will facilitate to design new targets for the drug discovery, and that will really a challenge between the chemistry and biology people. Now you may think that all of us may not be able to enter these areas. I tell you, what we are building in Iiser is the capability building, not just teaching you the science, but how to build your capabilities have been built. Your analytical capabilities are excellent, and hence you can enter into any area. One of the areas is of course the IPR. We don't have graduates with law background. We don't have people even in the area of algorithm development. Now there is a lot of opportunities in algorithm development, financial institutes, content writing, and so on and so on. So, my dear friends, don't get disappointed by that you didn't get. There are many other aspects of life which can which you can start, for which the capabilities have been already built in this. Last but not least is now it is a time to give back. Our old saying says that we have taken enough from the society and it is to given back. And I am sure you have been trained in this in Iiser campus only, when they opened many social arenas in the area of COVID testing center or surveys or anything of that sort. So, my dear friends, don't forget that we have to give back something to the society and start doing it in small your own ways. Your academics, your research ambitions, your social background, all will give you the enough capabilities and enough strength to deal with the problems. So, I wish you all the best, a nice career, and please remember Iiser Thiruvananthapuram when you are going ahead. Thank you.
Now I request Professor J.N. Murthy, the Director and Chairman Senate, to present the Institute medals.
Sir, certificates of distinction are awarded to the students having cumulative grade point average greater than or equal to 9. The following students who completed their course of studies in 2020 are eligible for the merit certificate with this distinction. Aishwarya MP, Amina Muhammad, Ananya S, Lakshmi Priya A, Meera Madhu, Vishnu V, G Ashwin, AP Srihari, Archa A Nair, Gayatri Chandrasekharan, Sri Lakshmi Pillai. The following students who completed their course of studies in 2021 are eligible for the Merit Certificate with Distinction. Akanksha Bhatt, Anna Elizabeth George, Anusha D. Bhatt, Mudit Bhatia, H. Sharanya, Balu P. Radish, Divya P.S., Srilakshmi V, Arya Gayatri M, Kalin Krishna, Meenakshi Krishnan, Michael Thomas, Srihari S, Abhay Sidaram Hegde, Anup A. Nair, Keshav Singh, Iyer Kishore Narayanan, Krishnanand K. Nair, Milia K.M., Naipunya Raj, Renuka M., Shalini R. The school gold and silver medals are awarded to the students with the best and second best academic performance among all the students of respective schools in the graduating batch. The school gold medal for the year 2020 from School of Biology goes to Anne Mary Isaac, roll number IMS 15031, who has CGPA of 8.97.
Anne-Marie Isaac hails from Kollam, Kerala. She was a recipient of the Inspire Fellowship. While she was a student at Iser, she did internships at the RGCB, Trivandrum, Iser Bhubaneswar and IISc Bangalore. After graduating from Isertvm, she has joined as a junior research fellow at the Defense Food Research Laboratory. Anne-Marie obtained the prestigious CSIR JRF in 2020.
The silver medal for the year 2020 from School of Biology goes to Shastri Avanti Milind, roll number IMS 15126, who has CGPA of 8.93.
Shastri Avanti Milind hails from Pune in Maharashtra. Avanti was one of the founding members of the Ecological Society of Iisertvm. While she was at the institute, she did an internship at Salim Ali Center for Ornithology and Natural History. Avanti is presently a PhD student at the George Washington University, USA. She is also the holder of All India Rank 3 in the GATE exam in ecology and rank 56 in CSIR JRF exam.
The silver medal for the year 2021 from School of Biology goes to Mudit Bhatia, IMS 16121, who has CGPA of 9.64.
Mudit Bhatia of Batch 16 is from Kota in Rajasthan. He was the recipient of the prestigious KVPY scholarship. While he was a student at Isertvm, he won the Dard-Wise Fellowship as well as the Corona Bose program. Mudit has a paper published in PLOS. He has obtained AAR 57 in the CSIR UGC JRF Fellowship exam.
The silver medal for the year 2020 from School of Chemistry goes to Ananya S., roll number IMS 15026, who has CGPA of 9.41.
Ananya S, IMS 15026. Ananya S hails from Palakkad, Kerala. She joined Iisertvm with the KVPY SX scholarship. While at the institute, she did research internships at NIIST Trivandrum and at JNCASR Bangalore. She has 3 publications in her credit while at Iisertvm. Ananya is presently pursuing PhD at the University of Buffalo in the US.
The gold medal for the year 2021 from School of Chemistry goes to Balu P. Ratish, roll number IMS 16061, who has CGPA of 9.35.
Balu is from Alappuzha in Kerala. He did multiple summer internships at Iisertvm itself and has a publication in chemistry. He is planning to pursue a PhD at the Pennsylvania State University, the USA.
The silver medal for the year 2021 from School of Chemistry goes to Divya P.S., roll number IMS 16073, who has CGPA of 9.22.
Divya PS is from Thrissur, Kerala. She joined Iisertvm with the Inspire Fellowship. She did a number of summer internships at IISc Bangalore, Iisertirupati and at Iisertvm. She was also selected for the Future Research Talent Award of the Australian National University. She has an offer for PhD admission from the University of Würzburg in Germany.
The Challa Gold Medal instituted by Professor Vijaykumar Challa of University of Connecticut is awarded to outgoing chemistry major student with the highest CGPA. The Challa Gold Medal for the year 2020 goes to Aishwarya MP, roll number IMS 15012, who has CGPA of 9.57.
Aishwarya MP is also the recipient of the Director's Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing Student with the highest CGPA for the year 2021.
The Challa Gold Medal for the year 2021 goes to Balu P. Ratish, roll number IMS 16061, who has CGPA 9.35.
Balu P. Ratish is also the recipient of the Gold Medal for the Outgoing Student from the School of Chemistry with highest CGPA for the year 2021.
The Gold Medal for the year 2020 from School of Mathematics goes to G. Ashwin, roll number IMS 15060, who has CGPA of 9.31.
G. Ashwin is from Cherthala in Alappuzha, Kerala. He had the opportunity to do a summer internship at NIT Calicut and also attended a training program in mathematics at Iisertvm. He has co-authored 2 publications, one of which is in print and the other is under review.
The Silver Medal for the year 2020 from School of Mathematics is shared by Kirtana R, roll number IMS 15077, who has CGPA of 8.94.
Kirtana R, IMS 15077. Kirtana R hails from Hosur in Tamil Nadu. During her studies at the institute, she attended summer training programs in mathematics at IISc Bangalore in 2017 and 2018. She secured AIR 51 in CSIR JRF examination in 2019 as well as AIR 22 in GATE 2020. She is about to start doctoral studies at the KTH Royal Institute of Technology of Sweden.
And Midhun PV, roll number IMS 15090, who also has CGPA of 8.94.
Midhun PV is from Payyanur in Kannur, Kerala. He is a recipient of the Inspire Scholarship. During his stay at the institute, Midhun had the opportunity to do summer internships at the Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai, and he's also attended the AFS 1 workshop at Iiser, Pune, as well as the Vijoshi Science Camp at IISc Bangalore. Midhun secured AIR 18 in mathematics in the CSIR UGC NET examination 2019 and is presently pursuing doctoral studies at the State University of New York, Binghamton, USA.
The Gold Medal for the year 2021 from School of Mathematics goes to Srihari S, roll number IMS 16183, who has CGPA of 9.86.
Srihari S is from Talasheri, Kannur district, Kerala. He did extremely well in obtaining a CGPA of 9.86, which is by no means a feat in mathematics. While at Iisertvm, Srihari did a summer internship at IIT Madras as well.
The Silver Medal for the year 2021 from School of Mathematics goes to Kalin Krishna, roll number IMS 16092, who has CGPA of 9.81.
Kalin Krishna hails from Erukon in Kollam district of Kerala. While at Iisertvm, he had the opportunity to do summer internships at Iisertvm and IIT Bombay. He was selected for the prestigious Dardwai Scholarship. He is one of the founding members of CMIT, and he currently has offers for PhD admission from the University of Melbourne and the University of Calgary.
The Gold Medal for the year 2020 from School of Physics goes to Gayatri Chandrasekharan, roll number IMS 15061, who has CGPA of 9.34.
Gayatri Chandrasekharan is from Wayanad in Kerala. She joined Iisertvm with the KVPY scholarship, and while at the institute, she did internships at IUCAA Pune, Iiser Kolkata and ICTS Bangalore. She is the recipient of the IAS Summer Fellowship in 2017 and the ICTS SN Bhatt Fellowship in 2019. She attended the Asian Science Camp in 2016 and was a member of the All India Youth Delegation to China in 2017. She had the honor of being visited to witness the Republic Day parade from the Prime Minister's box in 2018. She is planning to pursue PhD at the University of Rochester, USA.
The silver medal for the year 2020 from School of Physics goes to Sri Lakshmi Pillai, roll number IMS 15137, who has CGPA of 9.31.
Sri Lakshmi Pillai hails from Adur in Pathanamthitta, Kerala. While at Iiser, she did a summer internship in IISc Bangalore. She is a KVPY fellow and also a recipient of the IAS Summer Research Fellowship. She attended the Asian Science Camp in 2016 and the Vidyoshin Camp in 2015 and 2016. She is presently pursuing PhD at the IIT Madras.
The gold medal for the year 2021 from School of Physics goes to Shalini R, roll number IMS 16167, who has CGPA of 9.44.
Shalini R comes from Cherplaseri in Palakkad district of Kerala. She did an internship at MS University in Baroda in 2018 through the IAS Summer Research Fellowship and followed it up with an internship at the University of Siegen in Germany through the DAD-wise Summer Internship Program. She is presently enrolled for PhD in Physics at the Oklahoma State University.
The silver medal for the year 2021 from School of Physics goes to Milia KM, roll number IMS 16117, who has CGPA of 9.39.
Milia KM comes from Kannur, Kerala. She did a summer internship under the aegis of IAS Summer Fellowship at IIT Bombay. She also was selected for the Visiting Students Research Program of TIAFR Bombay during the summer of 2019. She has secured AAR 38 in GATE Physics in 2021 and she is planning to pursue PhD at the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering at IISc Bangalore.
The Director's Gold Medal for Academic Excellence is awarded to the student with the highest CGPA among all the students of the graduating batch of BSMS. For the year 2020, the highest CGPA of the graduating batch is 9.57 out of 10. The award goes to Aishwarya MP, roll number IMS 15012.
Aishwarya MP is from Chalakudi, Thrissur, Kerala. Aishwarya joined Iisertvm in 2015 and while majoring in chemistry, she did summer internships at Iiser Tirupati and Iiser Bhubaneswar. She was also selected for the summer internship at the University of Heidelberg in Germany through the DAD-wise program. She is pursuing her PhD at the University of Minnesota.
For the year 2021, the highest CGPA of the graduating batch is 9.93 out of 10. The award goes to Akanksha Bhatt, roll number IMS 16016, who has CGPA of 9.93.
Akanksha Bhatt is also the recipient of the Institute Gold Medal for the year 2021.
The Institute Gold Medal is awarded to a student having all-round excellence in academics in terms of CGPA, research publications, national or international awards or fellowships, and commendable performance in extracurricular activities in the graduating batch. For the year 2020, Vishnu V, IMS 15151 from School of Chemistry is selected to receive the Institute Gold Medal. The Institute Gold Medal 2020 goes to Vishnu V.
Vishnu V is from Vakkadapuram in Palakkad district of Kerala. He joined Iisertvm with the Inspire Scholarship in 2015 and after completing his foundation courses, Vishnu chose chemistry as his major. Vishnu has a long list of laurels against his name, including being selected for the DAD-wise summer internship that he spent at the Julius Maximilians University, Wurzburg in Germany, working with Professor Bernd Engels. He participated in the Asian Science Camp in 2016 where he won a Best Poster Award. He participated in the Big Joshi camp in 2015 at IIC Bangalore. Vishnu has 5 publications in his name and he is the first author in 3 of them, published in internationally recognized journals. Vishnu is presently pursuing his doctoral studies in physical chemistry at the University of California, Santa Barbara, where he is the recipient of the Regents in Chemistry Scholarship.
For the year 2021, Akanksha Bhatt, IMS 16016 from School of Biology is selected to receive the Institute Gold Medal. Institute Gold Medal 2021 goes to Akanksha Bhatt.
Akanksha Bhatt is from Sirsi in Karnataka. She joined Iisertvm in 2016 and after completing her foundation courses with a perfect 10, she chose to major in biology. She was a holder of the Inspire Scholarship. Akanksha did summer internships at Iisertvm at the National Institute of Pathology and through the IAS Summer Fellowship Program. She was selected for the prestigious Corona Scholarship for summer internship in the US in 2020. She represented India in the Asian Science Camp held in Malaysia in 2017. Akanksha has an offer for doctoral studies in biological sciences at Columbia University, USA. Akanksha's final CGPA of 9.93 is one of the highest ever obtained by an outgoing student of the institute.
The Best Undergraduate Researcher Medal is awarded to a student having best record of research publications. For the year 2020, Vishnu V, IMS 15151 from School of Chemistry is selected to receive the Best Undergraduate Researcher Medal. The Best Undergraduate Researcher Medal 2020 goes to Vishnu V.
Vishnu V, IMS 15151. Vishnu is also the recipient of the Institute Gold Medal for the year 2020.
For the year 2021, Alfie Benny, IMS 16023 from School of Chemistry is selected to receive the Best Undergraduate Researcher Medal. The Best Undergraduate Researcher Medal 2021 goes to Alfie Benny.
Alfie Benny hails from Kasaragod, Kerala. He is a recipient of the KVPY Fellowship. Alfie did his summer internships after joining Iisertvm in the institute itself. He has 5 publications to his name in prestigious journals. He has an offer for doctoral studies from the group of Professor Gregory Scholes at the University of Princeton.
The Institute Cultural Award is presented to a student with best accomplishments in extracurricular activities such as sports, culture, outreach, literature, etc. in the graduating batch. For the year 2020, Suryakanta Tanti, IMS 15142 from School of Chemistry is selected to receive the Cultural Award. Cultural Award 2020 goes to Suryakanta Tanti.
Suryakant Tanti is from Sundargarh district of Odisha. He did internships at Iisertvm itself in the School of Mathematics and Chemistry. He graduated from Iisertvm with chemistry as his major subject and subsequently took up doctoral studies in the same subject at Kyungpook National University, Daegu, South Korea. He displayed overall excellence in extracurricular activities while at the institute, bagging several prizes in cultural, sports and other such activities, earning him the Cultural Award for 2020.
For the year 2021, Shreya N, IMS 16186 from School of Chemistry is selected to receive the Cultural Award. Cultural Award 2021 goes to Shreya N.
Shreya N is from Kuthuparamba in Kannur district of Kerala. She did internships at IIT Hyderabad and NIT Surathkal while at Iisertvm. She is a chemistry major and she plans to pursue PhD in the same subject. She displayed overall excellence in extracurricular activities as well while at the institute, bagging several prizes in cultural, sports and other such activities, earning her the Cultural Award for 2021.
Now I request the director to introduce the chief guest.
We are indeed glad to have Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, the chief guest for the occasion today, to join us from Zurich. Generally, the institute medals are given away by the chief guest. Because of the virtual mode, this could not be done, and she has permitted me as the director to give away the medals. I would like to thank you. Thank you, madam. Well, I feel honored and privileged to introduce our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, to the Iisertvm fraternity and esteemed dignitaries. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan has been at the forefront in the fight against COVID-19. She is indeed a very familiar face on television these days and needs no elaborate introduction. Let me be brief. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan is a pediatrician and a clinical scientist reputed globally for her work on tuberculosis and HIV. A scientist and researcher by training, she ensured that research findings and outcomes formed the basis for planning and implementation of programs with a far-reaching impact on human health and well-being. She has contributed tirelessly through the government establishment in her capacity as the Director General of the Indian Council for Medical Research, ICMR, as is known popularly, and as a Secretary to the Government of India for the Department of Health Research from 2015 to 2017. Her research output is indeed enviable. She has published more than 350 peer-reviewed research papers and written several books. Dr. Swaminathan is a fellow of all the 3 science academies of India and is an elected foreign fellow of the US National Academy of Medicine. In 2019, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan was appointed WHO's first chief scientist. She has since been focusing all her energies on translating new knowledge and findings into meaningful global health programs. I wish to profusely thank you, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, on behalf of the Iisertvm community and that of my own, for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest today. Indeed, it's very early morning, and she is joining us by live, and we are indeed delighted to have you with us, madam. May I now request you to deliver the convocation address. Thank you.
I now request Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Senior Scientist, World Health Organization, to deliver the convocational address.
Namaskar. Professor Natu, Chair of the Board of Governors, Dr. Murthy, Director of the Iisertvm, members of the Board of Governors, faculty, students, parents, and other well-wishers. It's my great pleasure and privilege to be with you today on what is a very momentous occasion for all of you. This is the day that most students are looking forward to. You finish one phase of your life and then you launch on the next phase of your career. For some of you, it is more studying. I noticed that many of you will be going abroad to do your PhD. And for some of you, it may be going straight into jobs, either teaching jobs or in the private sector or the public sector. So whichever direction you are choosing, I hope and wish you well. And I'm sure that, the training that you have received, the very rounded and holistic education you have received at the Iiser will hold you in good stead throughout your life and career. One thing that is clear now is that science is more and more interdisciplinary. And the kind of integrated science courses that the Iiser offers is very, very unique. So you're indeed very fortunate to have studied there. And I hope that that will stay with you throughout your careers, because if you look at the major scientific outputs today, not only are they, many of them interdisciplinary, but most of them are coming out of collaborations which involve hundreds, if not thousands of scientists and that too globally, all over the world. If you look at some of the work that is done by the CERN here in Switzerland, you have physicists, mathematicians, biologists collaborating, and very often there are 5,000 scientists all around the world who are working together on a particular research project using the data that CERN is generating and using it in a way in which more and more knowledge can be not only obtained, but also publicly open manner. So at the WHO, in fact, since the science division was created 2 years ago, we have been focusing on a few areas, and these are, I think, relevant for all of you as well. The first one is around the guidelines, the norms and standards, what we call them, because WHO is a normative agency of the UN, which means that we produce recommendations, guidelines, and standards in the field of health for the whole world to use. And our guidelines need to be based on the best and most recent evidence and data. They need to be updated regularly. They need to be relevant to the countries that we serve. They should be available in a format which is easily accessible. And so all these elements have been brought together, and we have started looking at new ways or better ways of doing our guidelines, what we call the living approach, where we are constantly updating the recommendations based on emerging evidence. And this was particularly relevant during COVID, since at the beginning of the pandemic, we knew nothing about this virus. We could guess some of the properties because it's a coronavirus and we know other coronaviruses that infect humans. But many of the very unique properties of this virus, we got to know later. So as clinical trials were done and as more information became available about the better ways of treating or prevention, we constantly update our guidelines, and that's what we call the living approach to guidelines. And this is something we want to extend beyond COVID to all other health areas. The second one is how to have better impact at the country level. It's one thing to develop a policy or a guideline, it's another thing to implement it. And the implementation, of course, varies from country to country, state to state. It depends on many factors. But in general, you need to have a very close link between the policymakers as well as those who actually are doing the research and then are translating that research evidence into policy. So unless that linkage is established early on, where researchers are aware of the needs of the policymakers, and the policymakers have some sightline and some insights into what research is happening on that particular topic, so that they can immediately take that and use it for policy making. Of course, policy making is complex. It's not based only on research findings. It involves a number of other inputs, including the economic conditions. And that is why, again, in the field of health, because there are so many new advances and there are constantly decisions that have to be made on which product, which health product or which approach or which operation should be preferred over the other, there is a whole area of work called health technology assessment. And in fact, Kerala has one of the leading institutes, the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Health Sciences, which has been one of the centers that was selected for health assessment by the Department of Health Research a few years ago. And we need more and more of those in every state, so that, again, the decision to incorporate a particular new strategy or a particular new drug in a treatment program is based on considerations of safety and efficacy, but also on considerations of cost effectiveness and the impact that it will have on a particular health issue. We also are focusing on research, and what we want to do on health research is really shift the focus to low and middle income countries, because most of the research today in medicine is being done in the high and upper middle income countries, and therefore a lot of the fruits of research are also going into those countries. So investment in research, investment in R&D does pay off in the long term, but it requires sustainable support and financing, and it requires a good governance as well. As we have seen during this pandemic, investments in the mRNA technology over the last 3 decades today have resulted in the development of highly successful mRNA vaccines against COVID. Nobody thought that we could have a vaccine with 95% efficacy. Nobody dreamt of that. And that's what we have today, both the mRNA vaccines. And some of the other vaccine technologies have also been proven to be very effective and very safe. So this doesn't happen overnight. All of these technologies were worked on, tried and tested for other diseases, and they will have applications beyond COVID. They will have applications for other infectious diseases, but also for diseases like cancer, where mRNA technology can be used to produce monoclonal antibodies in a much more efficient manner than the previous technologies. So this is one of those game-changing technologies which has proven itself, and it has come of age, and now everybody, of course, wants access to this technology, and the WHO is working with a number of partners to establish what we call mRNA technology transfer hubs, which means that we work with those who own the technology, the know-how, and then we bring it to a hub in a developing country. The first hub is going to be set up in South Africa, which becomes like a training center for other teams to come and learn on this technology and go back and set up in their own countries. So again, this is just to say that investments in R&D will pay off, but they may pay off several decades down the line. You may not see results next year or even within 5 years. So it's important for that consistent and sustained investment in research. We also need to focus our research on problems that affect our populations disproportionately, because those problems are not going to be solved by researchers in other countries. So for example, you take tuberculosis, you take malaria, and you can take a number of other both communicable and non-communicable diseases that afflict our population. We need to find solutions, whether it's a new drug or a new vaccine, or whether it's more of a health strategy. It's more of a way of managing a particular condition. It needs local innovation. It needs local research. It needs both basic sciences and upstream research, but also epidemiology and field research, as well as operational and implementation research. We shouldn't forget the role of social sciences here. And I know that you all come from a background of sciences, physics, mathematics, biology, chemistry, etc. But if at all you're working on anything that involves human beings, then social and behavioral sciences is very, very important. And we've seen now, again, the pandemic has shown us that people's behavior is not easy to change. And we've known that in the past from trying to control tobacco use, for example, or alcohol, or other things where people's individual behavior needs to change. It's not enough to have just the knowledge. Knowledge does not translate into, and information does not translate into behavior change. You need very specialized techniques. You need to understand how people think, what are the levers and triggers that could change behavior. And that can be done at a wider level, at the population level. It's what is called the nudge theory, which Dr. Taylor won the Nobel Prize for a few years ago. It was basically around how do you use people's thinking to nudge them towards better behavior, whether it's you go to a supermarket and how do you get people to choose healthy foods over unhealthy foods. It also depends if you put the healthy foods on the shelves where people can see, and the unhealthy foods are maybe in a higher or a lower shelf. That's one way of nudging people towards making a healthier choice. So it's insights like that which can help actually address many of the health issues that we see around us today, and very useful for policymakers. Similarly, if you take like sanitation program, how do you get people en masse to change their behavior and stop open defecation? It's not easy, because when people have been doing something for many years, it doesn't come very easy, to get them to change behavior. And of course, there have been many films and stories written about this, with different examples. So what I was trying to say is that social and behavioral sciences need to be given an equal footing to the life sciences or other pure sciences, because they're very relevant and important when it comes to human behavior. Then we need to really think about new technologies. So we have in the science division a whole department of digital health and innovation. And, we are working now digitally. All of you are connected remotely. We have this whole convocation, and I was very impressed to see the holograms that have been produced of the faculty and the students. And this is the future. Connect like this and do our work wherever we are in the world. I think it's a huge advance that has happened. It's tested this system. It was ready to be used, but the technology was there. We were not using it. We were flying around the world, attending meetings and conferences. This is not only saving us money, but saving time and also saving the environment. And in the future, I hope that we will all reduce our carbon footprint as much as possible. Wherever there's no need to travel, we should not travel. But the digital technologies have really come into their own and many of them are being used in the health area, whether it's through telemedicine, telehealth. The government of India has an Iisertvm platform for patients to consult doctors virtually. This can be further expanded. It can be used particularly for areas where there's a lack of specialists, and we could imagine that you could have a health worker or a nurse in a remote primary healthcare center or a sub-center sitting with a tablet, as long as they have internet connectivity, connecting to a specialist, in Trivandrum, in Chennai, in Delhi, wherever, or even outside the country, and having the consultation with that specialist, with patients who are still sitting in their village and don't need to travel. So a lot of medicine can be done that way, but beyond medicine and clinical care, we can use these technologies for many other things. You can use it for research, you can use it for surveys, for data collection. The way in which we manage and collect and store and use data is changing. We now have big data, we have huge, large data sets, and we have, of course, artificial intelligence coming in a big way. And I'm sure many of you are interested in artificial intelligence or are working on it. We recently came out with a report that looks at the governance and ethics of artificial intelligence in health. It lays out the different principles, ethical principles, which we need to keep in mind whenever we are employing artificial intelligence. And it also gives a very pragmatic approach, sort of checklists of do's and don'ts to developers, technology developers, to ministries of health to oversee the whole process and provide that validation and approval of AI-based either diagnostics or other kinds of uses in health. And it also provides a checklist for the doctors and healthcare providers who are using AI-based medical technologies. So this is a new area. It's going to be an expanding and growing area. I'm sure many of you will be working on it. And there are many issues that come up when we talk about AI, starting from how to use people's data, what sort of privacy, confidentiality issues exist, what kind of consent is needed, making sure the data is representative and inclusive, because you know that AI algorithms are only as good as the data they are trained on. If the data is not representative, you're going to get false and misleading results. And then we need to be able to test. We have to monitor and evaluate the use of digital tools. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you replace something human with digital, that it's going to be better. This needs to be tested at each stage. This is again where research becomes very important. Anything that we're testing new and innovation needs to be also monitored and evaluated. And then ultimately, we need to see whether it's actually improving the outcomes, because our goal is to improve health outcomes or whatever outcomes you're working on. And so whether it's drug discovery. So we've recently seen that Google's DeepMind has come up with the structure of over 300,000 proteins of the human body. So almost 98.5% of the human proteome has now being decoded by DeepMind. This would have taken many years of work by thousands of human beings all over the world. But the computer has been able to do this. Now, of course, it's for scientists to look at those protein structures and validate them. But you see how quickly drug discovery can be advanced with the use of artificial intelligence. So there are going to be huge technological changes which are coming, which are already here, which are only going to increase. And what we need to do is to have those frameworks for governance and regulation of technologies, because every technology comes with a lot of benefits, but could also have some potential downsides. We have to anticipate and manage. So another example is in the area of gene editing. You know that that gene editing now offers a very fantastic opportunity to even cure genetic diseases, because now you have, with the CRISPR-Cas9 technology, we now have a means to be very accurate in how you edit the genome compared to the previous methods that we had. So you're able to go and target a particular gene and make the edits there without interfering with the rest of the sequence. So this could offer a cure for diseases like sickle cell anemia, thalassemia, and other neurological disorders. As long as we're gene editing the somatic cells, this doesn't pose much of ethical challenges. But the moment you go to the germline cells, this then becomes a heritable change that you're making. And there was a lot of controversy a few years ago after a Chinese scientist made a germline genome editing in a pair of embryos that then actually developed and into twin babies. And the gene editing was done to prevent HIV infection. And most people around the world believe that that was not something that was justified. So the WHO again is looking at issues like this, and we've recently come up with a report again on the ethics and regulatory frameworks that are needed in countries for gene editing. So every country needs to look at new technologies that are going to impact human health and to try to regulate them and have frameworks which need to be allowing research, allowing science to continue. We cannot shut down science, but at the same time, we have to be aware of the risks. We now know that there are biological risks, and any laboratory that's working with viruses, with living organisms, laboratory accidents can take place. So biosafety is very important. And essentially what we need to do as we advance research is to make sure that the risks are anticipated and are reduced as much as possible. There is never a zero risk situation, but you need to reduce the risk as much as possible. So ethics, I mentioned, is important for all scientists, particularly because if you're working with new technologies, then there are always new ethical questions. These questions need to be debated. Communities need to be involved. Civil society needs to be involved in these debates along with scientists. So science communication is probably the last thing I want to talk about, which again has been something that's been at the forefront in the pandemic. We've had scientists who have, either by force or willingly become science communicators. We've had to communicate, and we've had to do it in a way that people can understand. And also we've had to deal with the infodemic, the misinformation campaigns that are all around the world, anti-science, anti-vaccine campaigns that have served to really confuse people and have done a lot of disservice. But at the same time, that's the reality that we need to live with. And so we've had to make sure that credible information is provided to people when they're looking for it. So we work with all the technology companies, from Google to Facebook to Twitter to YouTube, to ensure that credible information, that somebody puts in a search word for COVID-related information, it should go to a source which is either a government source or an agency like WHO or CDC or somewhere where you get the right information. And if people are posting misinformation videos on YouTube, for example, there is a way for us to now flag it and have it taken down as soon as possible. But with social media, with things like WhatsApp, it's very hard to completely control that. And so the lesson for us is that if scientists do not communicate, then you will be in a situation where people are only getting the wrong information and the rumors and not the correct information. So again, in your future careers, hopefully you can communicate what you do in your laboratories or in your work to people, because that's the only way of increasing and strengthening health literacy, scientific literacy in the community. We have to start with children, we have to start with schools, with science education, so people start thinking rationally and much more scientific way of thinking. And this doesn't mean that everybody has to become a scientist. It just means that you apply some common sense and some logic when you hear about a situation. So scientists are not generally trained to be communicators, and this requires a special effort and an emphasis, but it's certainly worth doing that and worth the returns in terms of how the public behaves and responds, both to crises, but also in the non-crisis situation. So I just wanted to share some of these thoughts with you today at your very special day. And once again, I would like to thank the director and the board of governors for having given me this opportunity. And congratulations to all the medalists and the award winners, but also congratulations to all the graduating students of 2020 and 2021. All the best. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
I think, thank you very much, madam. At the outset, I would like to profusely thank you for accepting our invitation and making yourself available to us in the very early morning amidst your busy schedules. The country is indeed proud to have you from India, holding a key position in World Health Organization. You are a role model to thousands of younger generation, millions of younger generation kids. Well, we are enthused with your comments on interdisciplinary programs that you talked about in Iisertvm. I think that is a good motivation for us. And you have shared your astounding knowledge on a range of topics that sort of go from health, health research. If I am to sort of recap the issues that you talked about, health research, particularly you enlightened us about mRNA vaccines and told us about the futuristic applications that they hold for us. Of course, you went about basically telling us about the DeepMind, and we have heard about it, how basically the Google DeepMind is solving the structures of thousands of proteins and the huge information, what it is really in store for us. And of course, you talked about the gene editing and emphasized the importance of science communication and how important it is to have a credible information basically gotten across to the society. I think, I'm sure your words of wisdom will go a long way, and our graduating students will sort of take your words of advice and certainly in time to come make their career in a better way. On behalf of the Iisertvm fraternity as a whole, faculty, students and staff, I place on record our gratitude to you for delivering this convocation address. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much. We appreciate.
The graduates will now stand up to take the oath administered by the Chairman, Senate.
I solemnly swear that
as
a graduate of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Tirunanthapuram,
as a graduate of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Tirunanthapuram,
I will use my knowledge, experience and skills for the advancement of knowledge, and the well-being of my country and the planet. Honesty and integrity
shall
guide my actions in a manner
shall guide my actions in a manner
that makes my alma mater proud.
that makes my alma mater proud.
I will take responsibility
I will take responsibility
for my conduct
for my conduct
while
while
respecting the rights and dignity of all.
respecting the rights and dignity of all.
I will honor all those
I will honor all those
who have shared knowledge with me,
who have shared knowledge with me,
and in turn,
and in turn,
I will share my knowledge with others.
I will share my knowledge with others.
I request the chairperson, Board of Governors, to declare the convocation closed.
I declare that 8th and 9th convocation of Iisertvm is closed.
Please stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
The academic procession will now leave the hall.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.